This is Alaska's first ever flight to London, and I'm about to spend the next 9 hours in economy on their brand new 787 Dreamliner. This is a very special flight, so the airline planned an incredible experience for us today. This is our plane for today, the Boeing 787 Dreamliner in the Global Alaska Airlines livery. I can't wait to go inside and check out the product. The airline set up a lot of festivities at the gate, including photo booths, complimentary snacks, speeches from executives, and even a string quartet. And as the sun set behind our wonderful 787, it was finally time to board. Alright, it is time to board. The entrance onto the aircraft was very nice. The little flower on the side and the wood design on the walls made a very premium first impression. Of course I had to ask if I could get upgraded to the jump seat, and the flight attendants were super kind and gave me the free upgrade. I'm just kidding, you can't do that anymore. But they did let me hang out in the cockpit before takeoff. Then I made my way over to my seat. Here's the suites cabin, by the way. Looks very premium with the coloring and lighting. Hopefully I'll be in one of these on the next inaugural flight. The cabin was very crowded as the flight was fully booked, but we eventually made it to our seat, 43J. We are on the seat on Alaska Airlines 787. This is so cool. We had a little bit of a delay on our pushback due to traffic, but we got moving only 20 minutes after our scheduled departure. The taxi, however, took another 30 minutes, so we did depart quite late. We had a pretty smooth takeoff and got some great views over downtown Seattle. And just like that, we were on our way to London. 30 minutes into the flight, things were going pretty smoothly, until all the entertainment screens suddenly died. They all went black at the same time, and it was super sad because the baby in the front couldn't finish watching their Cocomelon. But luckily, the crew got them back up and running roughly 5 minutes later. An hour and a half after takeoff, we got our first meal service. Alright, so here is the first meal. We got a chicken pasta, some bread, a dessert. Don't know what that is, and then we got some cookies. The food was actually really good. The chicken was very tasty and the pasta had a nice texture. We also had a salad, some bread, and chocolate ice cream to go with our meal. After the initial meal service, the crew dimmed the cabin lights and I decided to get some sleep. I wasn't planning on sleeping on this flight, however, it was past midnight and the seat was quite comfortable, so I dozed off quite easily. Speaking of the seat, let's take a look at the product Alaska is offering in economy. As I said earlier, this flight is operated on Alaska's brand new 787-9s. First of all, I want to mention that everyone at Alaska loves this aircraft. The executives, flight attendants, and pilots are all super excited to work with the Dreamliner. What do you like about the 787?
Everything. It flies fast, it's comfortable, it's very fuel efficient, it's very pilot friendly, and it's also very passenger friendly.
The seat itself is pretty comfortable. It has a smooth recline, an adjustable headrest, and a great amount of legroom. However, one thing I didn't like was the coloring and design. The seats on board Alaska 787 are left over from Hawaiian Airlines, so they still include this blue ocean weave pattern. I felt like it took away from the premium Alaska Airlines experience. The seat was overall pretty clean, and same goes for the tray table, which was nice and big. There was a lot of space in the seat back pocket, and USB charging ports were located on the entertainment screen. The 787 also has these huge dimmable windows so passengers can enjoy the views while keeping the cabin dark. As for the amenities, Alaska offers Filson blankets and pillows for all passengers, and I have to say, both the blanket and pillow are very comfortable and high quality. The blanket is very soft and kept me warm throughout the flight, and the same goes for the pillow. Unlike the seat, the khaki coloring of the Filson bedding felt very premium and definitely boosted the economy class experience. The airline also gave special amenity kits just for the inaugural flight. This kit included a sleeping mask, which was pretty uncomfortable to be honest. It also had this card with English to English translations in case you spoke English, but not English. There was also a teacup that said Alaska on it, and finally, my personal favorite, this bag tag that said inaugural flight on it. I'm so glad the airline did this because it made the flight feel extra special. As we cruise over northern Canada, you might be wondering the importance of this London flight for Alaska. London plays a key role in Alaska's expansion, as it is their second European destination and fourth long-haul international route.
This is a huge milestone in our history to be able to provide direct service to London year-round, and our fourth destination and international destination in a year. So it's a big milestone for us, and we couldn't be more excited.
The airline started their European service with Rome, Italy, which is a very leisure-centered route. However, London plays a much different role. London is the largest market in Europe and attracts a lot of business travelers. Alaska is also utilizing Heathrow as a connecting hub via their One World Alliance partner, British Airways. After I woke up from my nap, I decided to play a few games on the in-flight entertainment screen. First of all, I really liked the Northern Lights theme on the screen. It really added to the Alaska Airlines experience. The crew gave out earbuds which also had the Alaska color scheme. Now the screen was pretty responsive. I noticed that the scrolling was a bit laggy, but it wasn't too big of a problem. There was a large selection of movies and a decent amount of games to choose from. However, there was no chess, which is a top 3 game to play on long-haul flights. But there was Sudoku, which is the best game for these flights. And I spent a good 50 minutes doing this one. Apparently this is not the correct solution, but I checked and it is definitely correct. However, the game didn't think so. I also played 2048. The flight map was pretty useful. However, on my flight back to Seattle, there was an issue where once you entered the map, it wouldn't let you leave, and the flight attendants had to restart the screen to fix it. And this was the case for all passengers, so the flight map was practically unusable. Alaska 787s currently do not have Wi-Fi, which wasn't too big of a problem for me, but London is a business market, so I'm sure that many passengers were disappointed. The aircraft will be equipped with Starlink Wi-Fi in fall 2026, so this issue is only temporary. I also decided to check out the bathroom, which wasn't too dirty, but wasn't too spacious either. It had this cool design on the wall, which I thought was nice. As we were approaching the UK, the flight attendant started the breakfast service, which included these pancakes that were delicious, as well as some yogurt and some grapes. And with that, we finally entered the UK and began our descent into London. As we begin the final phase of this flight, here's my ratings for Alaska's service on board today. For the hard product, I'm going to give both comfort and cleanliness an 8 out of 10. Overall good, but nothing extraordinary. I'll give amenities a 9.5 out of 10. The Filson bedding was very comfortable. The seat itself will get a 7 because I didn't like the design and the color. And I'll give entertainment a 6.5 due to the technical problems and lack of chess. As for the food, I'm going to say it was a 9 out of 10. It was really good. I didn't talk much about the crew. The 787 crews consist of former Hawaiian Airlines pilots and flight attendants, who are now wearing Alaska colors. All the crew members on board were really kind, and I could tell the airline sent their best crew for the inaugural. 10 out of 10. For the inaugural flight celebrations, I'm going to give another 10 out of 10. This flight felt really special, and it was an honor to be a part of this incredible milestone for the airline. We got a beautiful approach into Heathrow, flying right over the city of London, followed by a rough landing accompanied by some hard right rudder. But it was probably to wake up the sleeping passengers so they wouldn't miss the water cannon salute welcoming Alaska Airlines to Heathrow. Unfortunately, the water salute was only for business class passengers, so we economy folks in the back only got to see the fire truck without the water. And with that, we were in London. Welcome! This flight was truly an incredible experience, and I definitely recommend flying Alaska in the future. These seats are going for around $1,400 round trip. We were also on Alaska's first flight to Iceland, which launched only a week after London. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.